I am Navitas Nexus, or Nexus for short. In this video I'm going to thoroughly enjoy criticizing the shit out of the rabid beast known as the feminist Lacie Green. Well, let's begin.
The rumors are true. What they've been saying about me? I have to come clean. I, Lacie Green, am a feminist. What? You're a lesbian now? Man-hater? Hairy armpits? Ain't it so? Shh, it's gonna be okay. Those are just stereotypes.
Really, Lacie? Guess we just have to ignore all this, do we? Rightio. Well, I guess we just have to ignore all this as well, do we? That was Jessica Valenti, by the way, with the Male Tears shirt. And in relation to the man-hating part, the well-known feminist Julie Bindel has called for men to be put into concentration camps, as well as many other feminists. Well, let's continue, shall we?
I think that feminism is both kick-ass and super important, and here are a few of my reasons why. I'm a feminist because girls are taught in public school that once she has sex, she'll lose a part of herself. Because women who have a lot of sex are sluts while guys are studs. Amanda Todd, Felicia Garcia, Charisse Morales, because of the sexism that drove them to end their lives. I'm a feminist because I was told the first time I had sex would be painful and bloody. I was terrified. Because 1 in 4 young women is assaulted in society.
Oh really, Lacie? You think that women are taught in public schools that they will lose a part of themselves after having sexual intercourse? Are you sure you're not thinking of religious private schools? If you really claim that it's public schools, I say present your fucking evidence. It's easy for a woman to be a slut. She just has to walk up to any man pretty much and say, I want you to fuck me. A man needs to be charismatic, handsome, and usually somewhat financially invested in it. As for those two girls, one sent naked pics to a teenage boy that she clearly shouldn't have trusted. It happens and it's her own fault, to be quite frank. And it was her own weak-willed nature that led this girl to kill herself, instead of sucking it up like so many other boys and girls that have suffered the same thing before her. The other one, as your photo clearly says, slept with multiple men of the football team. That fits rather well the modern definition of a slut. Once again, a weak-willed little girl that could not handle the consequences of her actions. Boo-hoo! I don't see you virtue signalling over the teenage boys that have killed themselves after having what was proven to be false rape allegations made against them. Guess what, Lacie? A lot of women do have a painful if not bloody experience when they first engage in penetrative vaginal sex. Better to be mentally prepared for the worst scenario. What the fuck is this 1 in 4 women is assaulted in society bullshit? Is that general assault, domestic assault, or sexual assault? Because I have a nagging suspicion that you meant to say sexual or domestic, not general assault. Guess what, Lacie? 1 in 3 men suffer domestic assault, and as for sexual assault from a woman, well, the law doesn't even acknowledge a man is capable of being raped by a woman unless she uses an object to penetrate him. Forced envelopment isn't rape according to the law. So, Lacie, which fucking gender is the oppressed and objectified one? The one that has countless groups and government representatives for their rights, or the one that is so much a piece of fucking furniture that it cannot be raped under most of the common circumstances? You vapid, intellectually dishonest little shit stain.
Because of catcalling and street harassment, because no, it is not a f***ing compliment. I'm a feminist because my first boyfriend sexually assaulted me, and when I went to my friends for help, they called me a slut. Because when I speak at universities about the absolute necessity of consent, there are people in the audience who laugh.
Considering how well you are known for lying and to have a bit of a genetic fallacy in this, the fact that you're a feminist makes me highly doubt that he actually sexually assaulted you. As for your friends, I would suggest that either they're really shitty friends or they know you well enough to know that you're a lying little cunt.
Because boobs are used to sell everything from burgers to soap, but don't you dare breastfeed out in the open.
So, women using their freedom and independence to earn money through their sexuality is a bad thing? Women are so highly placed in society that they're the standard that companies try to associate their products with to get people to buy their products and services, Lacie. Still some controversy over breastfeeding in public, pretty much only from religious people. And even then, those people generally don't bother getting their knickers in a twist unless the mother does it in an overly conspicuous manner.
Because this shocks and terrifies people. I'm not even kidding. You should see some of the looks that I get.
What happened to "it's just a stereotype," Lacie? Congratulations, you just contradicted yourself on a magnificent level that rivals such feats of contradiction like the God of the Bible being all-powerful and yet powerless against iron chariots.
I'm a feminist because of how much pressure we put on girls to value their appearance above everything else. Because of labiaplasties, boob jobs, hymenoplasties. Because our culture considers it normal to cut off part of an infant's penis.
So, you're a feminist because women are too weak-willed to make their own decisions and formulate their own views on what's important, according to you. By the way, funny how it looks like you spent a bit of time on your own appearance before this video. Well, besides the ideologically driven lack of armpit shaving, circumcision, I've never heard a feminist bring it up as anything more than a token mention in an attempt to be like, I mentioned men's rights crap. Just because I don't actually follow through doesn't mean that I'm a cunt that pretends to be for equal rights when I'm actually not, in order to push my ideologically driven bullshit.
I'm a feminist because male orgasm in the movies is rated PG-13, while female orgasm is rated R.
Present your fucking evidence. I tried looking up this claim, couldn't find any reputable sources for it whatsoever. Is it just me, or am I just like picking the perfect points at which to freeze her fucking retarded facial expressions?
I'm a feminist because in 2013 there were over 700 bills proposed to regulate a woman's body. And for men, the rightful number, 0.
Present your evidence.
I'm a feminist because the political body making decisions about my body is over 80% male. Wow. Because men occupy the top rungs of not just politics, but every industry in the world.
Then stop whining about men having to step up and get some female representation. If you are so sexist that you care about the gender representing you and not their competency in doing so. Occupy the top rungs, that's a bad thing because vagina should always be on top, right? You didn't say that only men occupy top rungs, therefore making it clear that men shouldn't be near the top according to you. Guess what? We also occupy the top rungs in sewage treatment. I don't see feminists complaining about that. You're a bigoted piece of shit, Lacie. You are pond scum. And yes, I did steal this little clip of her stupid facial expression from later on in the video.
I'm a feminist because jobs! Women only hold 1 in 4 STEM jobs. We own 6% of TV stations, 5% of executive positions in the media. Because when I was younger and I took on a leadership role, all the adults in my life said, you're being bossy.
Once again, it's about the gender doing a job or owning something, not the competency of said people. Is it just me, or are feminists the most sexist, crude troglodytes to ever flop onto land? Have you considered the fact that when you first took on the leadership role you were desperately trying to live up to it and ended up being a bossy bitch? Nothing seems to have changed, by the way, Lacie. And do you seriously think that men don't get the same sort of shit and much worse? All the men where I work deliberately have to let women off with their mistakes so they don't get called a sexist. It's disgusting what women get away with. A recent example? A psychotic bitch got a DUI which should have had her lose her job. She got absolutely no punishment for it whatsoever. Then a time later, she went off and threatened a co-worker and went off at her much higher up the ladder superior, and guess what? She got sent to work across the country where she wanted to go. She got rewarded for her extraordinarily bad behavior.
And let's not forget that sneaky little pay gap. By the time the average woman reaches 60 years old, she will have made $450,000 less than a man in the same exact position. That's like a fancy ass house, a truckload of chocolate bars, or 10. And hell, I'm not even surprised by it. At my first job, I learned that my less qualified male coworker was making almost twice as much as me.
Once again, present your evidence, Lacie. This is becoming quite a theme. Of course, it is always a theme when it comes to feminists about not presenting their evidence, making extraordinary claims though. Yeah, well, let's continue.
I'm a feminist because the media told me that women are my competition, destroying my friendships with them for almost 20 years. Because gender roles! Because of that one-size-fits-all binary that shoves us into boxes and erases who we are. I'm a feminist because in 10th grade someone called my best friend a pussy and it tore him up for weeks. And I realized the worst insult was to be compared to a woman. Because boys are shamed for being emotionally open, because that's a girl thing. And womanhood is weak. Weak!
Guess what, Lacie? Everyone is your competition in the marketplace of hard work, of gender roles that people choose to conform to, or they change it if they really wanted to. Stop being a fascist cunt trying to put into power a totalitarian dictatorship based upon your religion of feminism.
Never mind the fact that it was most likely a woman who pushed your body out of her vagina. I'm a feminist because my father never once did the laundry, made dinner, or cleaned the house.
Question, Lacie. Did your mother ever go to work and earn a living for the household? No? That's probably because your father did it. Your mother took care of the housework, a much easier job most likely than when your father did. You're a fucking retard, Lacie. A fucking retard.
I'm a feminist because same-sex marriage is a no-brainer.
Funny how feminists claim that any action that isn't in line with the definition of the dictionary for feminism isn't the work of feminism, and yet they want to claim the glory of having gotten homosexuals greater rights as well as various other groups such as disabled people and ethnic groups. Funny how you feminists like to make a lot of definitions fluid, kind of like your gender fluid bullshit, in the same way that cretards like to change definitions to suit their ideological goalpost shifting bullshit.
Because in 34 states, it's legal to discriminate against someone who's transgender.
Once again, Lacie, claiming things that do not fall in line with your religion.
Because half the girls in Yemen will become child brides. Because 65% of Brazilians believe that a woman who dresses in revealing clothes deserves to be raped. Because in Saudi Arabia, women still can't vote or drive. I'm a feminist because in every corner of the world, every day, women's bodies are used as a battleground in wars started by men.
Funny how you stupid feminist cunts are constantly complaining about the troubles of women in other third world countries as justification for feminism in the first world, and yet you do absolutely nothing about the third world problems. You just whine and bitch about little problems or things where you just don't have enough supremacy. You don't have enough rights over men, even though you've already got more.
Raped, beaten, sold into slavery, mutilated, burned with acid. I'm a feminist because when I dare to get pissed off at injustice, I'm just another angry feminist who's on her period. I'm a feminist because of the reality that there are people who would take these words more seriously
if they were coming out of my mouth.
I assure you, I do not take this fucking dogma any more seriously coming from this man that is barely out of puberty. In this case, I use the term man very loosely.
Most of all, I'm a feminist because I believe in gender equality. And my eyes are open. My mind is active. I know we're not there yet.
Why is it these dangerous religious ideologues are constantly claiming to have open and free-thinking minds, and when their minds are absolutely anything but that? You will find in the information bar supposed evidence, but if you actually look at it, you'll find that it's actually misleading and false, which is why I refer throughout the video as her not having any evidence. I do apologize for the shitty editing, especially for audio. Unfortunately, I am working with pretty crappy equipment. Also, Lacie's video wasn't exactly well edited itself, made it more difficult for me. Don't forget to spread the logic if it so pleases you. Well, that's it until next time, and just remember one thing.
My logic is undeniable.